Thank you, Matt. I'm still very young in this industry, so it's a very big honor. First of all, of course, to be here, but also to have such a presentation from a guy which I really admire a lot. So thank you for that. I'm Emilie, and I want to start with a small introduction of you guys. So please help me raise your hand. I'll see if I can see anything. But raise your hand if you live outside the city, in a village, in a small town, at the countryside, maybe not even a city. Please raise your hand. Yeah. And then please raise your hand if you live in a big city. Okay. I hope you all see this. There is quite a big difference. And then again, the ones who raised your hand for living in a big city, who of you have ever thought or considered leaving the city? Luckily for me, there was quite a few hands as well. So, this is what we're going to talk about. This is Denmark, and the first part is going to be a bit of a geography lesson. Because in Denmark, even though we are a very small country, we do have a saying called the rotten banana. And the rotten banana is where all the people, mostly from the big cities like Copenhagen and Aarhus and Aalborg, they have this idea about this part of Denmark not really being worth anything. Like this part of Denmark out here is where the houses are the cheapest, where there's more pigs than people. All the youngsters, they are moving away to the bigger cities to go study. And we also have a saying that out there, the birds are turning around. So literally, this is just the worst of the worst place you can ever be in Denmark. But it's changing. A lot of people, especially young people, is starting to move back. It's families, it's friends, it's couples, and me as well. So I moved out there in Hanstholm. It's a very rural place. It's very far from Copenhagen. It's actually as far as you can come. And what I see out there is that there is a movement of someone who wants to do something else and who wants to do something different. And it all started. And the reason why I'm going to tell you this story about why I moved out there, you don't care at all. But the reason why I did it and why I want to tell this story is that I think there might be a lesson in this idea of moving outside that kind of reminds me about sustainability, but in another way, but also how we can be built to last. So, it all started with COVID. I think it really shaked up a lot of people's life. But in COVID, in December 2020, we had the second lockdown in Denmark, and as Matt just told you, I just started working at Amas as a student. They didn't take students normally, but I was really, I wanted to work there, so I convinced the entire team of hiring me, and they did. And then we were just started, and then the second lockdown hit, so we were all sent back home. And instead of going back home to my apartment in Copenhagen, I moved back home to my parents. They live up there. It's a small island called Island, at all names. There's only 9 people living there, but my family is 6 of them. So, and I'm going to tell you way more about that in another presentation, but this is Island, and I moved up there, and even though it's a beautiful place, then after a couple of weeks, I really started to get bored. So I called one of my friends, and he is the tourist manager of Thy, which is up here. So this is a part of Denmark called Thy. And I texted her because I was super bored. I really just had to do something, and I didn't know what to do. So I was like, hey, can you maybe show me around this area? It's a part of Denmark I've never seen before, so maybe that would be fun. And she would. She said yes. But she had a bigger plan. So what she ended up doing was to bring me all around the area, showing me all the empty restaurants. And there is a lot, I can tell. So she showed me all of these different places, one after one. And the last place we went, at this very weird, rural, raw harbor in Hanstholm, which is almost like the Wild West, was where I fell in love. So this is an old grill bar. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's a small town, there live 2,000 people, but it's at Denmark's biggest fish auction. So all the fish we eat in Denmark, in a lot of the southern countries in Europe, because we ship all the fish away from here, is being landed here in Hanstholm. But what they served at this grill bar was this famous dish called a shooting star, which is a deep-fried fish, and no one really knows where it comes from. Basically, it can be any kind of fish, and I wouldn't say that this fish was from Hanstholm. But it was super popular, and all the German tourists came happily to eat at this place, but now the couple who owned it, they decided to sell. And I was there at the right time, at the right moment, and I had never dreamed about being a restaurateur. I never dreamed about having my own restaurant in Hanstholm. I had never been there before. It was my first time I was there at all. But something in this place really talked to me, and I don't know if it's a saying in English, but I really felt a call from the universe. Like, I really felt that, okay, here's a place serving this shit, I'm sorry, but this, and you're in the middle of an industrial harbor. You're in the middle of where all the producers are. So why don't you start serving some of this fresh fish which is landed and sold here at the Narrow? And this is where the cafe was. Like, why? It didn't make sense for me. So basically the reason why I was keen on this place was that I felt no one else have done this. Like, no one else is here. I was alone. No one else were there. There was no rush about this place in Denmark. So I kind of felt a need to do this. So it all went very fast. This was in January 21. And I started spending all my time in this city. I talked to the people, I talked to the locals, but I especially spent a lot of time being at the fish auction and talking to the mostly men, only men down there, and really like trying to ask them, okay, what is this place? Like, I'm not from Copenhagen, I lived here, but I am from Jutland, that big part of Denmark, which makes a big difference when you just enter a room like that to a lot of old fishermen from the coast. So I was really like trying to move carefully, but also asking them, hey, you have all of this beautiful fresh fish, which is just coming right in. Shouldn't we serve it as it deserves? Like, shouldn't we pay it all the respect that we need or that we can? And they were actually super curious about it. Like, they were kind of, it's difficult to get something positive out of them, but it's, they were, as much as I could tell, they were quite interested.